Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Star Citizen. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for another Star Citizen video. Let's go ahead and start this one out. So, here's another ship. Here's another look-see video, guys. So, this is one of the ships that is very, very dear to me now, but until very, very recently, I had no idea this ship, what it was. I knew it existed, but I couldn't care less about this ship. Now I love this ship. This is one of, in fact, it's probably my most favorite. In fact, it is. It is my favorite ship in Star Citizen. This is the ship that I like right now more than any other ship in Star Citizen. And just until recently, I had no idea what this thing was. So I've been following the Star Citizen project for 9 years, 9 years now. And I knew, as I said, I knew about the existence of this ship. I knew this thing existed. I knew what it was, but I had never flown it, so I never cared for it. And now that I've flown it recently, I'm in love with this ship. I really, really like this ship, and I couldn't recommend this ship enough to you guys. So without further ado, I need to stop calling this thing this ship. So this is the Anvil Gladiator, ladies and gentlemen. So in this video, we'll be taking a look at the Anvil Gladiator bomber. So as I said, I couldn't, I didn't care much about this ship before. I didn't know. I knew this thing was a bomber. I knew it could carry missiles and torpedoes and stuff like that, but I was like, yeah, whatever. There are better ships than this. I have an Eclipse, I have a Retaliator. Who cares about this thing, Then, just a couple of months ago, I flew one for the Ninetales lockdown, and I instantly fell in love with this thing. This is an amazing, amazing ship. It's an amazing bomber. This thing is so good. Like, honestly, in my first fly out in this thing against the Ninetales, so Ninetales lockdown, it's where the Ninetales, they put a lockdown on one of the stations around Crusader. There's players as well. There are player pirates as well as NPCs, of course. And then you have to defend that station. So in this thing, just solo, flying it solo, I managed to get 3 player ships shot down. I shot down 3 player ships, as well as nine other 9 other NPC ships in this thing. This thing is an amazing bomber. The Anvil Gladiator is one of those ships. This is a rare diamond. This is so underestimated. This ship's capabilities are so underestimated in the Star Citizen community. I hardly see these things flying around. I don't see people making videos about the Anvil Gladiator. But this thing deserves a whole lot more attention. It deserves a whole lot more respect. This is a great ship. It's a great ship. It's a great little ship that nobody talks about. So what is the Anvil Gladiator? So this thing, as I said, it's a bomber. It's a single seat bomber, light bomber. Now this thing has the ability to, I need to stop saying this thing. I'm sorry, I apologize, guys. I say this thing quite a lot. So this ship has 2 seats. So it's a single seat for the pilot, another seat for the gunner. So the pilot can control 2 size 3 Panther repeaters. So this is stock. It's completely stock. I haven't modified anything from this ship. And of course, the gunner can also control 2 size 3 Panther repeaters as well. So for a total of 4 size 3 guns. So very respectable, very, very respectable firepower in terms of its guns. But this ship is not about its gun. It's about its missiles. So let me tell you about the missiles, guys. This thing has a lot of missiles. This ship can carry quite a hefty payload of missiles. And I'm assuming later on, bombs as well. So, at the moment, so this is the stock loadout, as I said. Size 2 missiles. So 2 size 2 missiles on the outer pylon. 2 size 2 missiles on the middle pylon. Of course, the gun. And here is the main payload. So this is the bomb bay. Later on, I'll show you guys. When you engage the missile operator mode, this bomb bay opens, and there are 4 size 5 missiles in there. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 4 size 5 missiles. Really, really strong payload. Again, the gun on the inboard pylon, 2 more size 2s, another 2 size 2s. So a total of 8 size 2 missiles and 4 size 5 torpedoes or missiles on this ship. Really, really strong payload. This just works. It's beautiful. You know, knock on wood that CIG doesn't ruin this ship, but it just works. I don't know how to describe it. When I flew it, this thing just worked for me. And I recently flew this thing in the Xenothreat event, the recent Xenothreat event, and again, it performed outstandingly. So this ship costs $165, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So now I own it, by the way. I own one of these ships. This is my ship now. And as I said, this is my favorite ship. I'm in love with the Gladiator because how nicely this thing performs. So you got decent speed, you got amazing firepower, you've got that extra seat for a gunner if you want to carry a gunner, and of course you got the size 3 guns as well. So the guns on this thing are actually very useful. By the way, you can't control the turret guns from the pilot seat. It's not like the Super Hornet. So if you don't have a gunner, you won't be able to fire those guns from the gunner's turret. But because this thing can carry that flexible loadout of large size torpedoes, like size 5 torpedoes and smaller missiles, this thing is deadly. This ship is deadly against fighters. I can't begin to imagine, like, describe to you guys how effective this thing is against fighters. It's fast, it's maneuverable, and you've got those highly maneuverable size 2, size 3 missiles that you can take out a lot of fighters with. So the size 2 missiles are great at taking out fighters. You probably need 2 missiles to take down a fighter, but you can equip this thing with size 3s as well. You can equip each pylon with a size 3 missile, so you can go for 4 size 5s and 4 size 3s. So a single size 3 Thunderbolt missile will completely destroy a fighter. Completely. Obviously, if they don't deploy their countermeasures and so on and so forth. But the Gladiator, in my opinion, is a really, really underestimated ship. I hope you guys watching this video will take this thing out for a spin when you have the chance, when there's a free fly. You know, at the end of the year, at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, take this thing out for a fly, for a spin. Take it into combat, and I'm sure you guys are going to I'm sure you guys are going to love this. It's a really, really nice bomber, really nice light bomber. The size 5 torpedoes in the bomb bay cannot be switched out for anything else. So that's one of the downsides of this ship. You can't, replace the size 5s with more size 3s or, a larger weapon. But I'm sure eventually later on, as with everything else in Star Citizen, you have to constantly think about later on. So later on, I'm pretty sure this thing will be able to carry bombs as well. So you'll be able to put bombs on these pylons. You'll be able to mix and match what you want to put in the bomb bay. You could put size 5 missiles. You could put maybe 2 size 6 missiles in there, or bombs. So yeah, this thing is great. And as I said, the Gladiator is perfect for the Ninetales or the Xenothreat type of events, because as I said, the size 2s and size 3s will take out most of the fighters. The size 5 torpedoes will destroy the larger ships, so the Vanguards, the Valkyries, the Cutlass Blacks. So a single size 5 missile hits on a Cutlass Black and it's completely gone. Most of the time you can one hit a Vanguard, an NPC Vanguard, with the size 5s. But something like a Valkyrie, 2 size 5 missiles completely take out a Valkyrie as well. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get inside the cockpit. So actually, before we get inside the cockpit, I'm gonna go ahead and get inside the gunner seat. So this is very similar to the way that you get into the Hurricane. So this thing was designed before the Hurricane, I should say. So enter the gunner seat. So the seat drops. You get inside. It pulls you into the ship. So this is the gunner station. Let's go ahead and turn... How do you turn it on? I am sure there's a button here to turn it on. Or is it already turned on? Nope. Power on. Yes. So I'm in the turret right there. And the ball turret on the top. Now you guys can see that circle right there where the guns are pointing in the middle of the ship. I'm not sure what that is. It looks like a radar dish, some sort of radar, some sort of scanner, maybe. That is an awesome looking view, isn't it, guys? How realistic are those clouds? Oh my god, this looks so good. This is a screenshot worthy image right here. Let me go ahead and take a screenshot. This is screenshot worthy. Star Citizen is truly a really beautiful game. Really beautiful, gorgeous looking game. But yeah, so 2 size 3 guns. 2 size 3 guns for the gunner. Panther repeaters. Obviously, you can swap that out for whatever you like. This thing has some really nice firepower in terms of its guns too, guys. So it's not just missiles. So if you've got a gunner, if you've got a good pilot, you can take on fighters in this thing as well. So this isn't a long-range bomber. The quantum fuel is lacking a little bit in that sense. It's quite short range. It's like a fighter. It's pretty much got the same range as a fighter. Not a lot of range, but you've got some really nice payloads on this ship. So let's go ahead and get inside the pilot seat. So the downside, one of the downsides of this ship is the limited range. I was hoping for this thing to have better range. Wow, again, just have a look at that sunset and the clouds. Just have a look how the way the clouds are spread because of the wind, the high altitude wind. And you can start seeing the stars. Really gorgeous looking game, Star Citizen. Screenshot time. Yeah. So let's go ahead and turn on the engines. Oh.
Engines.
Turn them on. Let's go ahead and take off. Retract the landing gear. Really awesome looking ship and really nicely performing ship too, guys. This isn't just looks. This ship performs really well. I hope you guys will get a chance to fly this thing in one of those free fly events if you don't have it. If you do have it and you've neglected this ship, why? You use this ship in the dynamic events and you'll see how awesome this ship is. The Anvil Gladiator, as I said, is my favorite ship now. Now, the way the cockpit is designed is also really nice. Like, it feels very militaristic. It feels like it's how an actual military cockpit would be designed. You got all of the MFDs, warning lights. You can see the guns. Those are the gunner guns. Now, this ship, I think, was inspired by the Dauntless SDB dive bomber from World War II. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with aviation, World War II aviation especially. This thing, I think, was inspired by the SDB, Dauntless SDB dive bomber from World War II. Very iconic plane. So let's go ahead and open the bomb bay and check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the 4 size 5 torpedoes. You can pretty much knock out with just those four, 2 Valkyries. 2 NPC Valkyries gone with that. Really awesome looking ship. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it. In terms of this thing's flight performance, it flies okay in atmosphere. This thing has wings, obviously, as you guys can see. It's got wings. It can fly relatively well in atmosphere, okay, but it's not so good at turning. But in space, in 0G, in a vacuum, this ship, I need to stop saying this thing. This ship flies really nice. Good rate of turns nice. Yeah. In atmosphere, it's pretty good in a straight line, but it doesn't turn so well in atmosphere. But overall, an amazing looking ship, really nicely performing in the dynamic events, especially. Good amount of firepower, but not so good on the range, on the quantum fuel range. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope you guys will go out and fly the Anvil Gladiator. It's a great looking ship. It's a really nice, useful ship. And if you guys have any questions about the Anvil Gladiator, please go ahead and leave them down in the comments section below, and I will go ahead and respond if I can. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.